We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at TUGaysPod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy.
And influence. And do all these speaking things.
Social media.
Well, that's why if you look at my TikTok, you don't see any TikToks in like the last 6 months because I haven't had time to do it.
Yeah, that's because
But you got to get back into it because people will.
I have to, yeah, because otherwise, you know, you lose your following.
Oh, whatever.
Sorry.
Are we?
bro.
Andy
is so
didn't even tell us.
sneaky. He's a sneaky little guy. He's like he. Did you ever see oh my god, what was the movie? Fuck, it was with Adam Sandler, and it was like, was it Mr. Jeeves? Was that an Adam Sandler movie? Ask Jeeves.
So.
No, Ask Jeeves is a
The
search
website,
engine.
but it was like he was like a rich inherited a bunch of money, and he had a butler.
That seems to be like every Adam Sandler movie back in the day.
I think it was Mr. Jeeves, but there was a thing, and it was like the butler had like a foot fetish, and he would always like go and sniff people's socks. And he's like, "I'm so sneaky." That's where that's connected.
Okay.
That was a long road to get that.
I know, but we were on the journey together, and everyone, you all were like, get to the point. I'm gonna look this up. Hold on.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Joe.
And we're These Unprecedented Gays. So how are you, Joe?
Hold on, I need to figure this out.
I think it is Mr. Jeeves.
Mr. Deeds.
Oh, Mr. Deeds. Okay,
Same
close
shit.
enough.
Yeah, oh my god. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm well. What were we gonna say?
I was going to say this is our Pride episode.
I know.
So it's like...
Well, we haven't seen each other. Well, I mean, we've seen each other, but we haven't, like, officially seen each other.
Right, yeah.
Like, I don't... What? Like, we hang out outside of the podcast. Because we've... Excuse me. Oh, still got that laryngitis left over.
So as all of our listeners know by now, you should, like, we always do a Pride episode because San Diego Pride is in July. So we always try to put out one special episode outside of our regular...
put out, girl.
I put out.
You do. You put out real well.
But, you know, we have a special guest in the house and everything.
Yes.
But before we do that, before we introduce him, we have to do mouth to mouth. Mouth to mouth. Resuscitation. Okay, so what are you obsessed with?
Hold on. I gotta get my notes. Damn it. I'm usually good with these. I have two.
Okay.
I was talking about it when we went to Disneyland, which was the Zelda game.
Okay,
I don't know what it's called, but it's for Nintendo Switch. Do you have a Nintendo Switch? Oh, I can. We'll get into that. So there's no Nintendo Switch for the secret guest here. But it's like the Legend of Zelda, I think. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, it's Zelda.
And I'm not like a video gamer, but like I'll get like hooked on like one game.
Right.
And like it's like one a year maybe. And then I like hyper focus for like 4 weeks. And then I lose track. Okay. So I'm on like week 3.
So if we were to go back to your Animal Crossing game that you were obsessed with, like you'd probably have a bunch of roaches and everything in your house.
Oh, my Farmville is decayed, girl. My Farmville, all the what is it? The
nobody
plot.
Plays Farmville anymore. I don't even think they do that anymore.
Farmville.
It's not even like supported anymore.
It's looking very North Dakota right now.
Right? Girl, I don't know how Zynga's doing. Is that what it was? I think it was Zynga. So that's one of them. And then the second one, which is like, I've known about like Sprouts having a decent pastry selection, but like I stumbled upon cinnamon rolls and like I was like, oh, let me just try them out. And they're not terrible, but I'm like, they're actually just like a nice little size if you want like a sweet treat in the morning for like breakfast. Cause like you're not supposed to have like lots of sugar in the morning, but I've been doing that for breakfast. But they're like, I don't know, about like this big.
Like your butthole?
Yeah. It's clenched down. Well, I don't know. After the fucking Montezuma's Revenge, it is that big. Ugh. What are you obsessed with?
So I have a couple of things. First off, I was obsessed with Disneyland Pride. Like, that was so much fun. We'll do, like, an episode later about it. But, like, that was a great time. And I don't care what anybody says. Like, you know, they're like, well, they're just trying to get our money. They're just trying to do this and that. Okay,
Take my money,
fine. Take
bitch.
my money. Like, I don't care. Like, they went all out and like really made it a lot of fun. So, and I'm sure people saw all the TikToks and Instagram reels of like Clarabelle the cow.
I was like Bessie Belle, whatever her name is.
And I'm like, I wish we had gotten a picture with her now.
Well, because we walked by it, and that line was
line,
like long. I was like, who the fuck is this bitch?
And when I saw the line, I was like, why are there so many people here? But maybe they don't know about the other ones that aren't so crowded. But it obviously
No, it
was
was because
special.
she was taking it and dancing.
She was an icon.
down.
She's an icon. She's a legend. Whatever Wendy Williams says.
So, and then I'm also obsessed with DePaul Norwood on Instagram.
Who?
So it's a comedian who like takes videos of animals and then puts a voiceover, and so he's always like, "Stop playing on my time." And so, but like, I don't want to be that person who tries to
No,
explain
is
it.
it the one where it's like he has the eyes in the mouth?
No,
Like, it's
that's
oh.
somebody different.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a voiceover of the animals and stuff like that. I'll show you later. But DePaul Norwood on Instagram. And then the other thing I'm obsessed with is the Smartless tour documentary on Max.
Okay.
That was fantastic. Like we listened to. Oh no, you weren't there. When we went to LA with Nick. And
I was like,
that.
I went to LA with you.
We were listening to the Smartless podcast with Sean Hayes, Jason Bateman, and Will Arnett. Well, they took it on tour, and then they did a documentary with it. And I'm like, it is so much fun, and it is so good.
And Sean, if you want to collab, you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
I've met you before in the West Hollywood impound lot, if you remember.
Oh.
Not like that.
Okay.
That
Sure,
sounds really
girl.
Is
bad.
that what they're calling it now? Impound block? That sounds like a gay bar.
As I'm reliving that, I'm like, I met you at the West Hollywood impound lot. That sounds real dirty.
It sounds like a bar.
Like, I mean, do you want to get impounded by Just Jack? I would get impounded by Just Jack. I mean, not now. He's had a lot of work done, but you can still talk to us. I love you.
So anyway, yeah. So check it out on Max, which used to be HBO Max, but now they just changed it to Max. So now we're waiting for Peacock.
Do you get the emails from Max, though? I see you. But do you get the emails from Max?
No.
They, like, are flooding me with emails. And it's like, it'll say, like, Max. It's like, Max says this. And I'm like, my dog? I'm like, what are you saying, Max? Are you emailing me? Do you have an email address? Yeah, so they're going to spam you. Just unsubscribe.
Okay. Well, that's fine because you know what? It's not even my account.
Whose account do you use?
I use my boss's account.
Are you? Yeah.
Why, you think Max is going to come after us now?
Are you one of those?
Yeah.
God, do you think you can spare?
Max is listening right now.
What's the code? I have so many streaming services that I never use, and it's like probably $150 a month that I'm wasting.
Oh, you need to get rid of those.
I know. I don't Disney Plus, but I have it.
You should watch Disney Plus.
With what time, girl? I have to watch the pottery show. There's too much. I don't have time. The only thing that I feel like is worth my monthly payment is YouTube Premium.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's coming out again. What was the Korean show with the people dying every
Squid
day?
Game?
Yes, Squid Game's 2
I
is
never
coming
watched
out.
Did you guys watch the first one?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, I never watched it. Was it gory?
Yeah, it was hyper violent.
Appropriately gory.
Yeah, but it for the context of the show,
Okay.
it needed to be.
Because I know that like there was a before Hunger Games was Hunger Games, they had like a Japanese like kill all movie. Is it kind of like that?
I don't know.
I
never
think
saw
you need
it.
to watch it. You,
Yeah.
you can't really explain it because it's
Once you start, you'll get hooked into it.
Okay.
I actually thought I stuck behind my husband's back and watched it while he was sleeping.
Oh, okay.
And I watched an episode and kept watching it and kept watching it.
So it's good.
And at 4 o'clock in the morning, I would finish and then go to sleep for a couple hours and get up. And then I would go downstairs and keep watching episodes.
Oh my God.
And finally, about 2 days into it, he came up to me and says, "Honey, we need to have a talk. What's going on with you?
Oh.
Why do you keep sneaking downstairs? What's going on?" And I'm like, "I'm cheating on you with Squid Game."
Hey, better that than something else. Like,
Exactly.
I swear, it's just Squid Games. So as you guys know, and we told you, and you just heard our special guest. We you've heard his voice before on our podcast because he's not a guest; he's a friend.
Is this the
family?
Fifth,
third?
time?
No,
fourth
or fifth.
Okay,
So we got to get you on two hands.
I think it's fifth.
Okay, and so he is an activist. He is a TikTok star.
She's an icon. She's a legend.
She stoned those tights herself.
She's probably up to date with All Stars.
Yes, probably.
I'm not.
And up to date with all their vaccinations and shots.
Absolutely.
It is the amazing Dr. Carlton. How are you?
Oh, I'm tired.
Oh, I know. 'Cause that's why you're here, to talk about everything that you've been doing lately.
Yeah, my life has been a whirlwind. I never would have dreamed this, a couple years ago, but it's I'm soaking it up while I can because
Oh, she a sponge. She Monet Exchange. She a sponge.
I
from
was just
soaking
gonna
it up.
say, but
until my 15 minutes is up.
hey, you're on minute 16 and you're heading to 30. But what are you obsessed with?
3 things.
Oh,
Ooh,
Number 1, Ultimatum Queer Love on Netflix.
okay. I have to add, because I was like, I thought when I saw Queer Love, I thought they were going to have like some gays on there.
They're
but
all lesbians, yeah.
But they're all lesbians.
what is this?
It's the most dysfunctional show I think I've ever seen. That's why I love it.
okay.
So they take 5 couples that are lesbian. They fly them all to San Diego. They put them up in Mission Bay. The whole series is filmed in San Diego and in Hillcrest.
Really?
Gossip Grill.
Of course.
And Baja Betty.
And there's some Coronado and everything.
They're on board and places like that.
No
so
shit,
they
okay.
take these 5 couples who were one member of each couple of the 5 couples has given the other an ultimatum after 3 years plus of being together that either we get married or we're done. And so
I
they
love
bring
this
them to,
already.
So they bring them to this resort in San Diego. They split them all up on day 1, and then for a week they mingle with the other 9 lesbians that are there, and they have to come up with someone who they're going to have a trial marriage with for 3 weeks. So they move in with them.
No, they don't.
In the hotel for 3 weeks.
Now, like, lesbians, that's fine because they're like, oh, this is the Saturday.
Okay, and then when they're done with that 3 weeks, they go back to their original partner and do the same thing for 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then at the end, they choose, I'm going to stay with my partner, I'm going to get with my new person, or I'm going to leave single. And the amount of dysfunction in these lesbianists, is really, really high.
So it's like really good TV.
Oh my God.
One of the
So
girls
much
at work.
dysfunction.
One of the girls at work was like, you have to watch it. Have you watched it? You got to watch it. And I'm like,
Is it new?
I don't want to
Yeah.
watch lesbians.
Yeah.
Is it just so? Is it like Ultimatum? Is it like another? Is it just a lesbian version, or is this the first?
It's a lesbian version of Ultimatum.
And I love my lesbian sisters. Let me just be honest about. Let's be honest. I love my lesbian sister.
Exactly.
But
No, it was fascinating television. It's all about communication and the failures of communication. And boy, I learned a lot about what just doesn't work in relationships.
and I also have heard, like, seen a lot of people like, this is even better than just like the regular ultimatum with straight couples.
Oh, so
like,
there
they
is
were
a regular
there
one.
is
Okay.
so much
Plus, it's all women, so there's a
dysfunction.
lot of catfighting. Like a lot of
Probably a lot of emotion.
a lot of emotion. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So it's really, really, really high drama. So I like that a lot. Number 2 is I'm getting back into Will and Grace after having abandoned it for like 5 or 6 years.
Oh, okay.
And what got me into it is Will and Jack are making a new podcast going through each episode. So it's called Just Jack and Will.
Oh, I would listen to
And
that.
so it's on the Wondery network that Smartless is on. And so that got me to go back and start watching the episodes, and I realized, wow, these are really funny.
So Paul can quote entire episodes. We'll watch, and he just says the words as they're saying them. It's shocking.
And the new reboot, the hilarity and the humor in it just is astounding. It's really, really funny, and I think it was hard for me to watch at the time because a lot of it was like Trump jokes because of Karen and stuff like that, and I just couldn't.
It was too soon.
It was too soon.
Hashtag too soon.
But now that he's gone, it's really funny, And then the third thing is Kylie Minogue.
Oh,
Completely
Padam.
obsessed with Padam. I can't get it out of my head.
Really?
It is constant.
And where did it come from? Like, it just came from out of nowhere. But it is a song of the summer for Pride. It is like, she knows it too, and that's okay. Did you see the video of Jimbo? Doing Padam as Shirley Temple? Like, that is... I don't know, it's just chaotic in the best possible way.
Yeah.
All right, just to show you, I read that article and didn't listen to the song, but I thought it was Padam Padam.
I mean,
Like
I guess
Indian kind of.
I'm like
I
trying to
can get
think
on
if
board
I
with
remember
that,
if I can think of it in my head how she says it.
Padam, padam.
Yeah.
It's like a heartbeat. Padam, padam.
I've heard it. It won't get stuck in my head for whatever reason, and I want to like it, but I'm just like,
My thing is I love all the little like memes and how they put it on top of like videos from like movies or like even like the Golden Girls dancing. They're
That was really fun.
that would be good.
I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. So now we got that out of the way. So Dr. Carlton has been like crisscrossing this nation.
She's been there. She's been there. She's been everywhere. You're Mrs. Worldwide.
I know.
You're giving
like,
Pitbull a run for his money.
know, right?
Mr. 619 over here.
Oh, that's the area code.
That's the area code because he's 315.
But there's also 858.
Yeah, he could be in one of those.
There's too many area codes.
760.
He's got too many hoes in different area codes.
So recently, you were gone for like almost 2 weeks, like a week and a half, maybe.
I was gone for 6 days. I did all that in 6 days.
You did all. It felt like longer
Because
Oh
it
my
was
God.
DC, New York, and
That was just DC.
Yeah, DC and New York.
Yeah.
it
Back in
seemed like
April-
you went to like 100 places.
Yeah, back in April, I did Austin Kink Weekend, so that was
Okay.
that was a couple months ago.
So you were recently in DC for
White House Pride. I actually got invited to the White House for the White House Pride celebration on the lawn of the White House. And at the same time, I had gotten invited to New York to be part of the Queerty Pride 50 celebration in New York City, which was going to be on, and that's what I got first, was the Queerty Pride thing in New York City, and it was on a Monday night at like 8 o'clock.
Oh, she in demand.
And I'm like, how am I going to get from San Diego to New York City on 8 o'clock on a work week and have to miss 2 days of work, Monday and Tuesday, to do it, and then just fly right back? I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Just as I was about to hit the RSVP no to go to the party, the White House emailed me and said, hey, we'd like you to come to the White House for White House Pride.
I love how he's
and
just
I'm like, okay, this is going to work now.
The White House just emailed
the White House
me.
just emailed me. It's fine.
It was the press. It was the press secretary.
So I'm like, okay, on Thursday I'll be in Washington D.C. I'll stay for Capitol Pride. Oh, what was me? Poor me that I have to stay for Capitol Pride. And then we'll fly to New York on Sunday night. We'll go to the party on Monday, and then we'll fly back on Tuesday, and I'll go back to work on Wednesday. Because I really can't afford to take that much time away from work right now.
What a whirlwind!
Because he's still a doctor, y'all. Like a real
fully
doctor.
practicing.
So I did 60 colonoscopies on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
That is a lot of buttholes.
That's in 3 days.
3 days. To try to make up for lost time. And so I was just really, really exhausted. I got on a red-eye plane, flew, even though I was in first class on United, to Dulles. I didn't sleep a wink because they don't have like a flat recline. It's just
It's just a seat.
And I will say, like their what is this called? Their armrest. When you're in first class, like, oh, this just sounds so pretentious. But I've only flown first class because my work is paid for it. But I hate the like tray tables,
right?
Because when you pull it up, it's like right on your lap, and you can't move it out of your way to be comfortable.
Exactly. So we fly all the way to Washington. I get there at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God.
No sleep. And I didn't mention this previously, but I emailed a couple of people who are in Washington that I'm in constant contact with. Both of whom claimed credit for me being there. Oh, I put you on the list. That's why you're going to be there.
Oh.
But what's the real story?
I have no idea. But Health and Human Services messaged me and said, hey, we'd like you to come to HHS on Thursday morning and film a segment with Assistant Secretary of Health and Human Services, Rachel Levine, Admiral Rachel Levine, the highest ranking trans official ever to be in government.
Yeah.
So I said, well, of course I'm going to do that. So my husband and I land, we go to my friend Kamal's apartment and crash for like an hour. I then have to get up and get my suit on and get down to HHS to go through security. And then we go up and we meet my contact, and then Admiral Levine, and Admiral Levine and I hit it off really well. We sat down at a conference table for 30 minutes, and she basically outlined her vision for queer healthcare, and it's exactly what my platform is.
Wow.
Right? So we talked about anal health, we talked about, and anal cancer prevention, we talked about getting checked where you play when it comes to STIs. We talked about the proper vaccinations for the community and HIV. And their new goal is to try to end HIV by 2030.
Wow.
With PrEP and with education. So, and treatment with U equals U. So, it was just an amazing little sit down. And then we went right downstairs and filmed it for their Summer of Pride series that's going to air on hhs.gov. And we did it all in one take. Like 45 minutes straight of talking to each other without redoing anything.
She's an icon. She's a legend. She's an actor.
She was amazing. She was really friendly. She was incredible. Of course, being a trans person of that high stature, I was like, oh God, don't fuck with the pronouns.
Oh no.
That's all you're thinking.
So the whole time I'm just like, Admiral.
Oh, that's a hack for you.
Yeah,
because that's the last thing I want to do is mess up someone's pronouns, especially the highest ranking trans person in America right now when it comes to
oh my God.
The
stress.
But every time you say Admiral Levine, all I can think in my head is he's just a skater boy.
I know.
He's a skater boy.
You're saying Admiral, and I was like, why you gotta go and make these so complicated? Also, there's a conspiracy theory that she's dead, and there's like a body clone. Have you heard that? I don't believe it. Anywho.
So we filmed that. It was great. And then there was a group of LGBTQ influencers that were set aside to go over to the White House executive wing and have a digital team briefing from the White House committees. And HHS pushed me to be involved. My following is big, but it's not like this big. I mean, these guys had like 6 million followers on their Instagram.
Who are these people?
So Josh Helfgott from Gay News.
Okay.
Oh, you're never gonna believe this. Look what M&M's did. You know that guy.
I don't know who that guy is.
This little curly red-haired guy who does Gay News. He's got like 5.5 million followers.
Damn.
On TikTok.
Okay.
I'm not on the TikTok, so I don't know.
It's Miss Chang, I think, is the other one. Is a lesbian teacher who has like 2 million followers. Patagonia was in there.
Oh, I know Patagonia.
That's awesome.
The drag queen, yeah.
And so we all had 15 of us were sitting around the table with Dimitri Daskalakis, the White House Impox coordinator, director, someone from the Office of Civil Rights who was non-binary, and then a woman who's married to a trans man who was, I forget what title she had, but they basically went over the agenda for the Biden administration for LGBTQ rights. And it's protect trans kids, protect trans people, protect queer rights, protect queer healthcare. All the stuff you want to hear, they were on it. And there were trans and gay flags everywhere in the White House.
I love that.
Hanging from the White House on the outside, on flagpoles on the inside, completely the opposite of the Trump administration.
So much can change in a few years.
It was fucking amazing. We were in tears just seeing all that. It was amazing. So as a special surprise, when we got done with the briefing, they took us across the street to the actual White House, to the White House press secretary room, and Corinne Pierre-Jackson came out and talked to us about what it's like to do her job.
That is so exciting.
Because she's the first openly lesbian press secretary, right?
Right, and then, just her, and she's African-American, and she's got a kid, and so she just talked all about what it's like to be the voice of the president and how she handles the press. And then at the end, she let us come up to the podium and take pictures with her and shake her hand and talk to her, which was super cool. And here we're in the fucking White House, you know. And I'm trying to pinch myself, like, wow.
I was gonna say, like, were you not starstruck, but like, I wouldn't know what to do in that instance.
I was in awe. Like I couldn't think enough to okay, do I take pictures? Do I take video? How do I soak up this moment?
Or like you're like, how did my life get to this point? That's not a lot of people get this opportunity.
But you know what I got stuck on? I looked down at the floor because that's where the press sits, and it was a complete disaster. There were plates with half-eaten sandwiches that were probably a day old sitting around. I'm like, man, the press corps is a bunch of pigs. This mess up.
Is that like the like when you see them doing the interviews, like you have the podium, and that's like just like the news, right?
There's a little audience.
Yeah.
So the audience is the press, asking questions to the So that's where we were sitting.
Funny.
So I kind of got stuck on that, and we were supposed to have the White House Pride celebration on the lawn on Thursday night between 7 and 10, but the air quality was so bad in Washington D.C. from the fires that they postponed it. And I was so happy that thing got postponed because I was dead.
I just want to go home and sleep for just a little bit.
Exactly. So instead of going straight home to go to sleep, the owner of The Advocate and Al Magazine took me out to dinner.
Oh my gosh.
Aww.
And so we talked about some potential projects coming up, which was exciting. And it's always good to have that kind of connection in the queer community, especially in the queer press. And he's a super nice guy and just a friendly guy, and we really got along well. And he, loved my husband, so that was really cool too. And we just talked about what it was like to be there and how excited we were to go to the White House Pride celebration. To make up for the letdown of not being able to go to the White House on Thursday, they gave us a private tour of the inside of the White House on Friday. So there were about, a couple hundred of us that were in line and went through all the security to get into the White House, which is crazy, and walked through the White House. The green room, the blue room, the state dining room, the red room, the gardens, and I took pictures of the hanging photos of like Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton, and it was just a super cool moment. And then we were supposed to go out to a party on Friday night, but I was so dead, and my husband wasn't feeling great from all the smoke the day before. And our friend Kamal, who had flown in from Indiana, because he works there and lives in Washington mostly, he didn't get until like 11 o'clock at night, and we just decided to call it. Saturday, got up, went to some breakfast, went to the White House lawns Pride celebration. Just completely overwhelmed, stepping on the lawn, seeing the flag, seeing all the families out there, the celebrities, government officials, and we weren't sure if Biden was going to be there or not.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, he came out about 20 minutes into it and Jill spoke first, and then he spoke, and they gave these really impassioned speeches about queer rights and trans rights and protecting trans kids, everything you want to hear, from our community that they addressed. And that just really filled me with a lot of joy, and then they had a special performance by Betty Who.
Of course they did.
Who?
That's so cool.
Which I didn't know who she was. I knew her songs.
I know who she is.
I knew her songs, but I didn't know that her name was Betty Who, and that's who this was.
Oh, she's that Somebody Loves You. Yeah. She's good.
I Love You Always Forever.
She did a cover of that, yeah.
Is she lesbian? Is she part of the community?
Be, because
I think she might be like bi or something.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Betty, who knows?
So she performed, and then I saw this rope line up at the front of the stage, and saw some people duck underneath a rope, and I'm like, Alex, let's go over there. So we went over to the rope line, and we just stood there, and we're very patient. And lo and behold, the vice president's husband came over and shook our hand and took a picture, and then Biden came up. And I got to shake his hand and tell him who I was and what I did with the monkeypox thing. And we took a picture together. He's in his aviators. It looks like Top Gun. It's really cool.
Did you tell him how to douche and how to bottom for Jill?
The butthole clock
method.
Right? Did you teach him to test where he plays? So for him, it's going to be nowhere.
Well,
I'm guessing that's a no.
I was kind of worried about... I love Biden. I love what he's done, and I loved it how he basically saved our country from what would have been a fucking nightmare by being president. But he is getting up in age, and I was a little concerned about that kind of stuff. But he gave a very coherent speech. The only things he stumbled on were LGBTQ, which is kind of hard to say.
I can't even say that.
And then transgender, you couldn't say that either. But that's because he's dyslexic, I guess. So.
Yeah, I was going to say he has a speech impediment, I think, or something like that.
Oh. Yeah. So he stumbled on those a couple of times, but otherwise a beautiful speech. I met so many amazing people from the administration. The administration is 14% plus gay.
Really?
Thank God.
Yeah, and
Wow.
when I talk to different people in the administration, they're like, "Oh, it's way more than that." They just
don't want to put it out there.
It's actually 40. Where I want to know, where did you guys stay?
My friend Kamal's apartment. So,
Like where in location?
It was 5 blocks north from the White
Wow.
House, which is right there at Logan Circle and
Okay.
DuPont. So right in the heart of gay DC, a very cute neighborhood. I pictured myself there. It was really cool. And then it was Capitol Pride. So after the White House celebration, we walked down the street, and just the amount of energy, the people screaming at the people going by, the music, it was phenomenal. It was their first really big Pride since all the COVID and impact stuff has really happened. So, and I have a feeling San Diego is going to be the same way. It's going to be people going
crazy.
nuts,
Was it a parade?
It was a parade. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so going back a little bit, at the White House, I met some people that I fangirled over. There's one guy named NYC Gay Dad who does a lot of gay parenting stuff on Instagram and TikTok. And so I saw him. Britta Filter was there.
Really?
Yeah. And I met the owner of Club Q and the only surviving bartender from the Club Q attack. And he had bullet holes in his spray gun with the soda that you spray.
Yeah.
So he was really lucky, but they're putting together a fundraiser to try to get a memorial set up.
Oh, good.
In Colorado Springs.
Okay.
So I've linked that on my Instagram on the story, and I was just shocked at how many people came up to me and asked for pictures and knew who I was and thanked me for my work and all that other stuff. It was really kind of overwhelming to be in a situation like that with all these celebrities and stuff, and to be noticed and to be sought after. It was a very humbling experience for me.
Just don't forget the ones that were here in the beginning.
Oh, I will never forget that. Yeah. So we had a great time at the DC Pride, and then Saturday night we went to this great event that was a circuit party
in DC. Okay.
3,200 people.
How did you have the energy? Because you got in, what was it again? Thursday morning?
Yeah.
From a red eye.
Yeah, but I was like, you know what? This is my one chance to enjoy this.
So pure adrenaline.
Power through.
And at 1 o'clock in the morning, guess who pops out on the stage?
Oh, no.
Betty Who.
Of course. And this time you knew who she was.
I'm like...
I saw this one already.
I'm like, this bitch, I've already seen her.
Did you see her at the airport too?
Yeah. So the next
God, she was following you.
The next morning in the airport, we were going to New York, and she was in the airport lounge. So we finally took a picture with her. I'm like, I've seen you 3 times in 12 hours. I think
hey, girl. I know your name now. That one song you sang.
We had a somebody who was on a guest on our show before was also at the Washington Pride thing. Her name is Fiona Dawson.
Oh, yeah,
Probably didn't even notice. Probably didn't meet her, but...
Yeah, there was like 1,000
There were like 1,000 people there. Like, did you also see the woman who went topless there?
I didn't see that until after I got back.
Wait, I heard about that.
I follow her on Instagram, and so I know of her, and I know her story, but I didn't realize she had done that.
Okay.
Well, so give the audience kind of a breakdown of that.
So the White House lawn is pretty open. And although there are Secret Servicemen everywhere on the roof, you can pretty much do whatever you want to do as long as you don't pull a gun out or something like that. And so there were some female-to-male trans folks that were taking their shirt off, showing their scars. Mm-hmm. And she said that she got caught up in the moment and decided to take her shirt off and pose with her breasts out in front of the White House. And she's been permanently banned from the White House for that.
No, and technically... It is okay to be topless in DC.
Oh, is it?
According to...
you can be... Actually, the go-go dancers apparently can be naked if they wanted to be.
Right.
In DC.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So, talk about progressive.
But it was the White House. It was completely inappropriate. And...
for the setting and stuff.
For the setting, and with all this trans fear that's happening right now, it just kind of fed into it.
I was going to say,
But we know with Twitter, when you're permanently banned from something, it doesn't
necessarily
You're like, hey, you're permanently banned. I saw you at the dinner later. I saw you in the Oval Office.
Yeah, and I'm not passing judgment on her or anything, but I mean, it was, in my opinion, not appropriate to do something like that at the White House. Here we are, all honored and just shocked to even be here, and maybe that also got to her. She was like, overwhelmed or something, and she did something
correct,
off out of her usual behavior.
All right, so you met Joe. Did you meet Jill?
I was 5 feet away from Jill. I didn't meet her, but I took a lot of pictures with Jill.
Dr. Jill, right?
Yeah,
Dr. Jill, yeah.
Dr. Jill, yeah.
She's such a top.
I didn't get to see her when I saw her in Washington, and I was like, even though we were in the same building at the same time, like Secret Service had her like.
She's a gem. She's a protected asset.
She wasn't shaking hands. She was away from the.
Don't
She
touch
was
me.
behind.
She did a lot of
played,
hello.
Joe was the star of the show.
She is very Valentina in that.
Yeah, she was not shaking hands. But that's okay. And her speech was awesome.
Yeah.
It was really great. And then we flew to New York, and
Hopefully Betty Who wasn't on the same plane.
No, fast cut to you're at a New York circuit party and she's on stage.
She flew coach.
Exactly.
She was in the United First Class with the shitty the tray tables.
cut to the next day where we fly to New York City, and our hotel just happens to be a block away from the New York City Eagle on a Sunday evening. So,
Of course.
So-
how convenient.
we thought, well, we've never been to the Eagle before. Let's go check it out.
What part of town is the Eagle in?
It's in Chelsea on the 27th and 10th.
Okay.
Or 28th and 10th.
Okay.
And our hotel was on 27th and 10th. And so we went, and one of the DJ for the Crisco Disco that night was Steve Cunningham. He's somebody who saw me at Austin Kink because he DJ'd there, and he didn't realize it was me, and he made a big stink about wanting to meet me. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the Eagle and meet you. So I hung out with him and took some pictures and stuff like that, and he gave me the whole history of the place and a little tour of all the different things, and that place is crazy. So, because the basement, the new basement there is, the first floor is a dance floor. The second floor is where all the naughty stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right out in the open. There's no...
I mean, what do you mean naughty stuff? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's a Crisco Disco, so they're making cookies.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So,
So naughty.
it's very, very naughty. And then the top floor is the roof. And there's a lot of people up there, kind of like you would say at... Remember when we used to go to the rooftop?
Oh, top of the bay.
Top of the bay, yeah.
Okay. So
But they're
middle,
clothed there, right? They're not doing naughty stuff.
Yeah, they're not doing naughty stuff.
But the
Okay.
middle floor? Wait, so is the middle floor like actually street level?
Middle floor is actually second level. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
But can you see in from like the outside?
No.
It's like
okay.
an Oreo. There's like, this stuff. So all the cream is in the middle.
Exactly. There was a lot. Actually, there wasn't a lot of cream because I think guys were running around that didn't want to.
Splooge.
They didn't want to finish. So,
Because they wanted it to last.
because they wanted it to last for the evening.
They
So
were
a lot of guys,
edging.
a lot of guys were just like running from person to person to person to person and wouldn't come. So,
I would hate that.
They saw 60 buttholes in the 3 days.
By the way, when you were telling me that, I calculated it, and it was 2.5 colonoscopies an hour.
that's our goal is to do 2.5 an hour.
I'm like, damn! If you did 60 in 3 days, fuck.
Yeah, that's what we do is and that's completely if you're doing everything.
That's standard. 2.5 an hour.
Yeah. Because.
Good lord!
And I just happen to be really talented at being able to get around and get and do it really quickly. So and it actually makes my staff really nervous when I work because I do what I do very well, and I'm not struggling at all. I'm quick, I'm quick, but I take my time coming out to make sure I don't miss anything. Right?
You fish it.
And I always
You're
have a
quick on the
timer.
entrance, and you take your time coming out.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was a lot. But to be able to make it all work, I had to do what I had to do to pull it all together. And so we had a great time at the Eagle, chatting with people. There were some people that follow me on Instagram there that I had never seen in person before, and we got to talk and stuff like that, which was a lot of fun. And then we went and crashed, and we got up the next day and just kind of. Our daughter's going to NYU in the fall.
Oh, cool!
And she's going to be at Tisch School of the Arts for drama. And so we wanted to walk from her theater studio to where the dorms are to see what the walk was like. And It's a 25-minute walk.
Oof! From the school?
From the theater studio to the school, because the theater studio is over where the Google building is.
Oh, it's not on the campus?
And the school is, the campus is another 25 minutes away. So we did that walk and realized, okay, we need to make sure that we have an Uber system for her so that she can get back and forth.
Is there like a metro or something, or a subway that can directly?
There are subways, but Subway with an 18-year-old,
Of course.
blonde
Yeah.
girl with blue eyes.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's easy to, in a big city, to kind of get lost in the mix
Right.
and like kind of, disappear.
Yeah, and also I just saw a news report yesterday of some 35-year-old guy getting stabbed to death in Washington Square Park, which is basically where the dorms are.
Is that
So-
but that Washington Square has become, that's like with that big arch thing, right? When me and Nick had gone, it was like weed central because marijuana just was legalized. Is it still that way?
Yeah, I mean, all of New York just smells like weed.
It's crazy.
The whole city, yeah.
It's crazy because it's like legal now, and that's all everyone is doing. Like you walk around and you're like, yes.
You know how people used to sell CDs and DVDs on the street on the little tables?
Yeah.
Now it's weed.
Really?
Seriously.
Oh man.
So we got all dressed up and we took a car down to the Chelsea Piers where the Queerty Pride 50 was. And so to just give a little background, Queerty, is a big internet news source. Mm-hmm. And they contacted me about 2 months ago and said, hey, we're going to have you on the Queerty Pride 50. Can we do a story? And can you send us some photos and stuff like that? So I sent it all, and they said we're going to release one person's name a day from middle of May until June 30th. And then, so mine came out on Memorial Day. But the people before me were like Bella Ramsey from The Last of Us and Game of Thrones.
Oh wow. Okay.
Brittany Griner. Just all these people that were just like huge, stars or huge names in the news.
Which one's Brittany Griner?
Brittany Griner is the basketball player who was detained in Russia, the lesbian.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
So like Nathan,
She got back, right?
Yeah. Tig Notaro and Nathan Lane and Sasha Colby. And,
Okay.
And Rose.
I saw you at a picture with Rose.
And then,
That's some great company that you're in. I mean, that's
yeah.
awesome.
And then, people like, there's a lot of diversity in the people who weren't superstars. Like, there was a guy who was deaf who did a lot of work for the deaf community. There was an African American cartoonist and designer and model. And a lot of people in the audience that were there just to celebrate were either previous winners or were just local celebrities. So Luxemore London was there.
I saw, yeah.
And I was kind of a little bit ashamed of myself because when I first saw her, I was like, oh, Simone.
Oh!
And I didn't say anything. And I went up to her and I
You didn't say, oh, Simone.
No. I just was thinking, oh, Simone. So I go in and I hear her open her mouth. And I see that she's got a gap between her teeth.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, that is not Simone.
No,
because
yeah.
Simone has a really thick Arkansas
And it's not hiding in closet.
No. I'm like, that's Luxemore London. And so I didn't say hello to her or anything. And Rose comes up to me and looks over and goes, oh, look, Simone. And I'm like, no, that's not Simone. I'm like, thank you for saying that, though, because I feel better.
We had a similar moment when we were in Disneyland because Coco Montrese was there.
Oh, wow.
And I was walking and I'm like, I think that's Coco Montrese, but I was like, I'm not going to say anything because it could just be an African American small person. Mm-hmm. And Paul goes, it's Coco Montrese. And I was like, thank fucking God.
I was like, I'm going to go back and get a picture. Hold on.
Because I was like, oh my God.
But she looked stunning.
Lux?
Lux was gorgeous. Probably the most gorgeous I have ever seen. She just
really
looked like a supermodel. She was fucking gorgeous. And she was like, okay, when you take the picture, I want you to use the flash. She was directing us exactly how she wanted things. And
Good for her.
And it was great.
Good for you. Like,
awesome.
I know, the picture you
works for
posted
you,
were great.
Yeah.
And you saw Rose out of drag.
I saw Rose out of drag, and we got to talk. Because
I love that jacket she had on, too.
Right.
The green, fluffy jacket.
Yeah.
And then Britta Filter was there, and I'm like, hey, girl, we keep running the same circles.
And then Betty.
She kind of looked like a Muppet though.
Britta? Was she in drag?
Yeah, she had on like fluffy, feathery orange stuff, and their makeup was a little bit orange too.
Okay.
So,
girl, look how orange you look.
I know. Basically, it was that kind of moment. But she's got a huge podcast now, and I was like, hey, I'd love to be on your podcast sometime. She goes, oh, I love that.
Britta?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought she had I don't want to say a falling out, but she didn't have a good perception on her show or on her season. Has she kind of I don't want to say like regained her image, but has she kind of like
she's refashioned her image, and now she's done a lot of political.
She was an activist,
political activism, and like I think her last podcast she had on chasing Buttigieg and stuff like that. So she's definitely moving up in the world.
Good for her.
Stuff.
So when you go to the Queerty, do you like go up on stage and everything?
Well, we walked the red carpet and took pictures there. And then,
and your outfit.
Yeah, I had a Hugo Boss outfit. I had a Hugo Boss suit on with a Hugo Boss shirt, and then my Prada sparkly shoes.
Yeah,
which
everybody in the place was going crazy for, which I thought was cool.
See, and even though it's recycled, you can
totally recycled.
You could just tint them different colors in Photoshop.
That's called male privilege. We don't have to wear a new.
Exactly.
A new
but I realize next time
time
I go to do a red carpet, I've got to look better. I've got to like put on something crazy.
What were the shoes? Were the shoes comfortable, or are they not comfy?
They're okay.
Do they need some insoles? Maybe
your Prada shoes need insoles.
They're actually pretty. Those are pretty good. My Louis Vuitton shoes are painful.
Oh,
I hate them.
Well,
do they have a heel when you walk? You make a click clack. I love that when you have, like, that's my favorite with dress shoes is when you're walking on like either tile or wood and you have like the little heel and it goes like a little click clack.
Yeah.
As like dress shoes as a man.
Yeah.
Because they're not like high heels.
It just was it was so funny just to see so many different people. Now all the huge celebrities, like I mentioned before, like Bella Ramsey and Sasha Colby and folks like that, they weren't there.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of those folks were on tour or playing basketball or acting right now.
Sasha Colby, she's on her contract still.
And Candy Muse co-hosted the event.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
and this was right after she sent James Mansfield home.
Oh,
so she was kind of like not in good favor from a lot of people.
Oh no.
So
let's put a pin in that.
Yeah, we're going to circle back to that.
So we were. So she did a great job of co-hosting.
Who was she co-hosting with?
She was co-hosting with one of the Queerty folks.
Oh, the Nana Party.
Yeah, and then the two main award winners were Michael Urie from Ugly Betty.
Yeah,
he was there, and then the other guy was I'm forgetting his name. The huge Broadway guy who did Broadway Bears. He like founded Broadway Bears.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Is that the one where they get naked?
Yeah, Steve something. Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot his name.
I've seen it on Instagram. I would pay for that. It looks really sexy.
And he actually said, "You cannot miss. Trust me, as a gay man, you cannot miss Broadway Bears. You gotta go."
Because they're sexy men and they're in like glittery like underwear and they just remove
Every time you say that, I just think like there's some bears, like big burly guys, like doing some dancing and singing like Broadway songs.
It's BARES, but I think Broadway Bears could be a new, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Broadway Bears squared.
And again, I had a lot of people come up to me at this thing who, like some celebrities, like a couple of guys on Broadway came up and said, "Oh, I really love your stuff. Can I take a picture with you?" I'm like, "Sure."
Aww. Yeah,
and then I looked him up, and it was like a guy who's in Camelot right now.
And you were like, "Can I get tickets?"
The cool thing was, he's like, "Hey, when you decide to come back and see the show, I'll get you backstage." I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Oh my god!
Yeah, he's gonna take you backstage.
You mean it's like you're gonna Camelot?
A guy who was in Titanic, the new show.
That's supposed to be really good.
He was there, and I saw him when he did Almost Famous as well. So he was there.
Okay.
And then Jeremy Crittenden from, I guess he was in a lot of low-level stuff like Star Trek and stuff like that, Star Trek Discovery and stuff like that.
Oh, he was a red shirt.
But but super sexy guy. He had on this net shirt, and his body was just banging.
Yeah,
and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I was like, he's like, "Can I please take a picture with you?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
can I take a picture with you?"
Yeah.
And he said, "I said, you look fucking amazing in that outfit, but you could wear a plastic bag and look just as good." And he was like, "Oh, thank you." And then my husband punched me in the arm. And
Did you? What does Asha say? She could show up in a fucking diaper, and they'd still say, "You look like a model. You're the evangelista." Yeah.
So, like, when you're walking the red carpet with your husband, you kind of have to like let him walk ahead of you, or like let him walk a couple steps behind you, so that people can get a picture of just you.
Well, they initially I just went up there, and then I said, "You know what? I'm going to have him with me." So I went back through and brought him up side by side, and all the pictures that showed up on Getty Images are the two of us together. So,
good.
So that was cool. And he looked amazing. He's looking really, really super sexy lately. He's really worked out a lot and he's looking super fit. And he's cute as a button. So everybody just, was like a moth to a flame to him, which was really great to see. Because, here I get all this attention.
Right.
And it must be hard to... Well, a lot of my friends say, Carlton, it must be hard to be married to you.
It must be cold beneath that shadow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the fact that he's getting some attention was really great for me.
Oh, good.
And then they brought the people who were actually there on the list up to the front of the stage, and everybody gave us a round of applause. And then that was pretty much it. Betty Who did not show up.
But okay, I saw in your pictures. I'm also looking at this guy. He is fine. Mm-hmm. You met the guy that does the Moira Rose impressions.
Oh yeah, Judson.
It's
Berry.
like M. Judson or whatever,
Judson
right?
Berry, yeah.
I want to know, like, how was he, and like, is he like funny or is he kind of reserved?
He was kind of reserved.
Okay.
I kept looking at him and saying, "I know that guy from somewhere. I know that guy from somewhere. I know that guy from somewhere." And he kept looking at me, and I'm like. So I finally went up to him. I said, "You're the guy who does the Moira Rose."
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, actually I am." He goes, "It's finally nice to meet you in person."
Aww.
And I told him all about San Diego Pride and told him about Bear Night and stuff like that. And his friend who was with him was a bear. Mm-hmm. You guys need to come to San Diego. So he promised me that if he comes, he'll let me know. So
oh my god, I would take a picture with him.
Yeah.
Did he go, "Hello, you"?
He was really funny.
And you got to meet Crystal Waters.
Oh yeah, Crystal Waters.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
100% pure love, bitch.
Oh yeah.
Is this a song?
She's homeless. Gypsy woman, she's homeless.
Wait, who is this in the pictures as well?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So she did 100% Pure Love, and she's written that song for 30 years.
Hey, you know what?
And more
Go
power
ahead.
to her, honey.
And Gypsy woman, she's homeless.
Yeah.
You could do a whole concert on those. You've built a career. Cece Pennison built a career on Finally.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I like her dress. It's giving like what a top of an apple pie looks like.
Yeah, the lattice.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Did she have Denali and what's her name come out to do the lip sync for that?
Unfortunately, no. But that would have been awesome.
Damn it.
So we just got back in the car and kind of started driving back to the condo, the hotel we were staying at, and I just opened up my phone and just started scrolling through pictures. Like I couldn't believe it. It was like, this was me? Did this just happen?
Like right now, this is your life, so you kind of just have to like be like a biscuit and sop it all up.
Right.
You know? It's like
Sop it up. Well, because you went to DC. I feel like you must have still been on adrenaline after the DC trip, because you're in the heart of government, being recognized by basically the life source of our country.
Right.
Then being propelled into like New York, which is such a metropolitan area.
Yeah.
And where all that is centralized, being recognized again.
The celebrity stuff.
Yeah.
did you meet any of the representatives when you were in DC? Like, did you meet AOC? or...
Oh my god, I would
didn't-
shit my pants.
She didn't show up to the
Rude,
press
homophobic.
celebration, but
That's homophobic.
to be fair, it was supposed to be on Thursday night where all those folks were going to be there, and they usually bolt out for the weekend,
Yeah.
and they postponed it till Saturday. So a lot of the
Where were they bolting out to? They need to represent the house.
House boots down.
Not on a Saturday.
We're gonna represent our country, but not on the weekends.
Right.
Well, and like you have something else coming up pretty soon where it's like the lineup for this event. Can you talk about that? That's coming up.
I have a lot of stuff coming up. So July 1st, which we may pass that date by the time this airs, but I'm the centerpiece for Big Gay Improv at the Diversionary Theater.
Yeah,
Are they going to do an improv around you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
we've
saw
seen a
that
couple of
today.
those.
Yeah.
It's Saturday night at 8 o'clock. On
yeah,
July
I
1st.
saw that.
Oh,
My
okay,
friend,
there you go.
my friend does improv, and he was like, "Hey, I have a show on Sunday," and I looked, and I was like, "Wait, I know you."
No, yeah, I did it last year, and we were the last event of the evening because it was really, really hardcore, sort of naughty humor. And so they put me at the end, and the thing before me was downstairs. So by the time we got upstairs to do that, people didn't know that it was happening, and there was only like 12 people in the audience, which was embarrassing. But it was like the funniest thing I've ever done.
Okay.
Was that improv set. Because, I mean, the humor just writes itself. He's a gay butt doctor. You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't get
It
any
writes
funnier.
itself. It's
you don't even have
fine.
to,
You
don't
can
even
do
have to
all
think.
night.
Yeah.
But did you participate in the improv?
Yeah, I was actually a participant in the improv.
What they did in the one we watched was they bring up the person that they're focused on, and they ask them a few questions, and it's very get to know you kind of thing, and then they do this whole
Really?
thing around it where they
Right.
draw
And
it from everything they learned.
And the number one rule of improv.
Yes.
And- But what's the number 2
Poop.
rule? If you shit yourself, keep going.
Exactly.
So there's that, and then there's on Friday night, July 14th at the Flag, I'm getting the Hero of Pride Award for San Diego Pride.
Okay, come on.
Stumble
here.
Pride
Yay!
So that's really overwhelming, and I have my own car in the parade. Oh, and I got you guys some goodies.
Oh.
So I have some muscle guys who are going to be dressed up like doctors, and they're going to hand out.
Is it a
some
large
goodies.
butt plug? Oh.
It's
Just like that.
I can't actually. I'll just.
Oh, these are cute.
I don't want to hit my mic, so I'm just like throwing it.
Ooh, a gummy flavored cock ring?
No, it's a peach ring.
What's a peach ring?
So it's like a ring that's peach flavored, but peach ring becomes like your butthole.
Oh.
So the front of it's got my logo, and the back of it's got a QR code. To my
These are
Instagram.
nice.
I know.
And then
Do you have a sugar-free option?
Oh,
that actually is probably not good for butt stuff.
I just hope people don't think it's a weed gummy. And then
Hey, you can
Hey,
do that.
maybe
It's
it
legal.
could
Oh,
be.
these are cute.
Straight up, gonna hit you in the face.
He's throwing us Mardi Gras beads
I
because
know.
we showed
Did I
our
take my
boob.
top off?
There you go. That was a better throw. Sorry about that.
Oh, I love this.
So there you
Yeah?
go.
Come on, titties.
She's pierced.
Selena S. titties.
Yeah. So I'm giving those out just to.
Are you gonna
promo
throw
stuff.
them?
Apparently, it's a $75 fine for everything you throw out of a Pride.
Are you kidding me?
Oh.
So
what,
I'm
how do
having
you
guys walk around the
Okay.
car and hand them out.
I
So you
would've
can't
loved if
throw?
So I've got a Marine who's all muscle.
Okay.
Who's going to be in a tight little medical outfit, and his
Oh.
husband who's also just a sexy.
Is that Jean Marine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you gonna have people that
Which
are
I'm
in
very-
no clothing?
Given the current situation with the threats to the LGBTQ community, I can't think of a better thing than to have a Marine in front of the car.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
How many guys do you have?
I have 2 right now. I'm going to get 2 more.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
What are the
yeah.
other 2?
I haven't. I still have to work on that.
Minimal clothing, yeah?
Yeah, minimal clothing. Yeah.
Okay.
Invitations are out.
Just make sure they wear sunscreen.
Rating RSVP.
Sunscreen.
You,
Yeah.
you should reach out to some people on Instagram. Like you could reach out to Chase Carlson.
Oh
12.
yeah. If he's around.
Yeah, if he's around,
Who's
I'm
Chase
sure
Carlson
he would love
12?
to do that.
maybe Chase and Dougie.
Because
Yeah.
they were together. They're both like really
Huge
Sexy.
bodybuilders.
huge bodybuilders. And you
Both
know,
with like a couple 100,000 on Instagram. You know.
Ooh, yeah, just have them in their bodybuilding
Yeah.
little bikini thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd watch that. I'm gonna watch the parade.
So anyway, here's praying it doesn't rain like it did like 5 years ago, where it just
Yeah.
gushed down.
exactly.
And
Hey, then they
spoiled
won't
it
need sunscreen.
I wish this
but then they'll be
said-
nice and wet. Yeah.
I wish this said, "I'm here for the butt stuff," because I love that saying. Because they have that shirt, and I'm
Well,
like, I love that.
there will be children at the parade, so I
Oh.
wanted to make sure that.
God,
I didn't
yeah,
have anything
you're right.
I'm
sexually
hung up on the
inappropriate.
$75 fine from throwing stuff.
It's
Is
apparently
it
in the
per
contract.
throw?
Yeah, apparently per thing that's thrown out as a $75 fine.
How are they
So
gonna
they
know?
hand out things.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to find me because I've been throwing shade.
Girl, you will be the bill you rack up is too much.
So and then the other couple things that I have coming up are August 5th in Orlando. I'm going to go do a butt stuff brunch. There.
Ooh.
I don't think I'm going to have a drag queen because I think I might get arrested if I have one. But
Why?
but I'm going to do a butt stuff drag brunch, a butt stuff brunch for Pineapple Healthcare down there. We're still working out the flight information and the hotel and stuff like that.
I was gonna say,
but it's getting close. And I'm like, honey.
but
In
let me
August?
know because if it's a Marriott, I can try to help you out. Get a
Well, they're going to take care of. I said the only way I'll come is if you pay me some cash and
Yeah.
pay my hotel and pay my plane ticket.
yeah.
So that, I mean, I can't pay for all these trips
And where
across the
did
country.
where are they having the brunch at? Is it like Hamburger Mary's or something?
I have no idea.
I
don't
miss
even-
Hamburger Mary.
And then on September 22nd to 24th in Dallas, Texas, I'm part of this thing called Unleashed LGBTQ.
That's the one I want to know about.
And that's going to be really cool. They have a bunch of panelists that come up and they interview people on stage about what it's like to be in that particular area of culture. So they have Anthony from Queerty Pride.
That's
gonna
what I
make-
wanted to know
He's
about.
gonna make salsa.
They have
I'm here with Dr. Carlton, and he's like the butt stuff doctor. And when I was doing butt stuff with my dad as a child, making avocado toast, bleh, Me and Andy had the same feelings about Anthony.
Andy fan.
And then,
But I hope you enjoy him.
oh yeah, and then Billy Eichner.
That's yeah.
Yes.
He'll be there too. And then
Ask
Brian
him about his
Sims,
movie.
Oh my god.
who I
I
met
would
at that one
die.
hundred, and he was like, "Here's my phone number. This is the phone number that I talked to my mother with. So make sure you use this." And I'm like, "Okay." And so I've already texted and said, "Girl, I'll see you in Dallas."
Have you sent him a text message yet
Yeah.
about that? Awesome.
So and he's like, "Oh, great! I get to see you again."
I mean, he is a cutie.
Oh,
Come
he's
on.
super cute. And he wasn't in Washington for Pride because he was doing the AIDS ride, which was
okay.
super
Oh, like
cool.
AIDS Life Cycle?
Yeah, he.
Oh,
it's
nice.
Oh, the one from California, from
San Francisco,
Francisco.
LA.
Yeah.
I want to do that next year.
Yeah, he raised like $30,000 for HIV, which is amazing.
Oh.
I would love to see you do a Billy on the Street in Dallas. Like you.
Oh
and
my
Billy Eichner. That would be
God.
hilarious.
Yeah,
I don't know how well received that would be, but like
other
Dallas is progressive, right?
yeah, it's pretty progressive, and it's most of the stuff is at Gillies in Dallas, and Shangela's going to be another person there. India Moore, the person from Pose.
Oh yeah.
The trans person from Pose is
Oh.
going to be on there, and then me. Like, why me? You know,
Because you're
you.
amazing. You're.
I don't get it, but we're going to talk about, I guess, the medical stuff of queer culture.
Listen, if you don't have health, you don't have anything. So that's why
Right.
I'm here.
Yeah, so that's kind of the lineup for, and then during the middle of all this, I have a son who's going to Boston College at the end of August, and a daughter who's going to NYU. So we have to fly them up, go with them, and help them get moved into their dorms.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
All the while working.
yeah.
Hopefully
Well,
that's one trip for both.
it is. It's
Yeah.
one trip for both, and then initially we were like, "Oh, we're going to be empty nesters now. We're going to have all kinds of time to travel and party and do stuff." And then I looked at the tuition bill, and I'm like, "I'm going to be working."
I got a lot of
Is Boston a public or private university?
Boston College is a private university.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Catholic.
So he's going to have to get it up to 3 buttholes an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just 2.5.
Boston.
I mean, those schools are about $100,000 a year
Each?
after all expenses. Yeah,
Damn, girl.
I know it's crazy.
Well,
Wow.
and then also like they've got to have spending money too.
Also,
just-
it's just, no, it's because of inflation.
it
That's
is.
why.
I mean, living in those
In
In
places.
this economy?
I know it's going to be like private college in this economy.
Well, I hope they have fun because those cities are just fantastic cities.
And honestly, the only places I'm probably going to be traveling are Boston and New York, but I can't think of two better places to travel.
100%.
Yeah.
Well,
When
and
you-
I mean, and your kids are kind of close together. It's not like one can't take a train to the other if there's
Exactly.
an issue.
Yeah,
They plan
it's
on doing
like
that.
what,
They plan
maybe
on
an
doing
hour?
that. And I mean, they're twins, so they know they're comfortable with each other. Just
so
stay
like-
there.
Yeah.
It's like
Dorms.
I love
3 or 4
Boston.
hour drive.
Oh, on a train?
Right, yeah.
Oh, maybe.
But still, it's
okay.
pretty quick. I mean, and it's easy, and they can do homework.
I mean,
back and forth, you know.
Whenever you want to get some clam chowder, be like, we're gonna come visit you.
Yeah.
Or you have to go to, oh my God, I think it's called Mike's Pastries. I want to say it's called Mike's. I don't know if it's called Mike's, but it's
That's
in
in
Little
Boston,
Italy.
right?
Yeah, oh my God. And they have the best black and white cookies.
Yeah,
and cannolis.
That's awesome.
You have to go. I'll take one.
Yeah, we're really excited about all that. It's going to be a life change for us to not have the kids
Yeah.
in the house. But I'm kind of there as high school seniors. They were pretty much gone all the time anyway to their friends' houses, and
And I mean, this might actually, be a blessing because now it's like, okay, because they're not at home, maybe now you have a little bit more space, a little bit more time to get your TikToks out,
Yeah.
your social media stuff,
Or just rest.
even though you still need an assistant. Like,
oh God, I need so much right now in my life. I'm really, after talking to all these influencers who were in Washington, I'm really disappointed I don't have a manager or any contracts that are significant because a lot of those guys just don't work anymore. They just do TikTok and Instagram, and they have contracts that pay them.
Wow.
Like NYC Gay Dad, he's connected with Marriott, and Marriott pays him and his kids to go to all these places for free to travel and take Instagram photos and reels.
Promotions? Wow.
And
But
that's-
you
that's
don't
what
have
we
the
wanna-
capacity. Like,
Yeah, don't go on a yacht. We
Yeah.
won't get any yacht ones, but
Yeah.
if you want to be sponsored by the Orcas, maybe we could do that.
well, because if you didn't have, if you weren't a practicing medical doctor, you could have the time to do that.
Right.
But because you don't have that time, like, it's hard because it takes time.
Well, and also, I think, you're in a part in your career where part of your credibility is the fact that you are a working doctor.
Absolutely.
In
Yeah.
the trenches,
Right, and I'm not, like, advertising everything.
Right.
Yeah, and it's hard because, like, NYC Gay Dad has a different kind of niche and
demographic is a little different.
Demographic, because what you talk about is very centralized.
Yeah. Yeah, and but
The core.
Yeah, it's kind of been a struggle lately to grow on Instagram, and I know like a lot of my reels, I don't know if I'm shadow banned kind of, or if
what does
maybe
that
people
mean?
just mean like you make a reel and even though you have a lot of followers, they don't put the video out because a lot of the stuff I talk about is sexual.
Right.
Anytime I say sex or anytime I say condom or PrEP or HIV
'cause you
or
have
STI,
Do they block the videos?
they selectively block some of the...
You have to change everything that would be considered
You know how you'll
sexual.
You'll get like suggested things show up on your reels. You're not getting any of that promotion.
Really? So
Yeah.
that wow, that's homophobic.
So a lot of the times when I post something that goes crazy, it's because people really like it.
Yeah.
Right? People find it very interesting or useful. I do have to get better about making time to make videos. I have a lot of potential projects out there. I was supposed to do a podcast with Rocco Steele, but he's been so busy and a lot going on in his life that we never were really able to materialize it. Mm-hmm. And I was a little concerned about the content of it. I wasn't sure if it would really fly or be worth the amount of time invested.
It's sustainable kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Advocate channel is talking to me about being a podcast through their Disney Plus acquisition. And so, but that would just be like limited little health things, like 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there.
I mean,
and then I'm in talks with another guy in San Diego here to do a podcast, but that's going to be shopped out to a one of these companies like Wondery, but some other one. I forget what it's called. So we're trying to fish out what to call it, what to put in it, what we want it to be about.
right? What lane you need to be in.
Yeah, what lane? Because I mean, do we want it to be just a gay podcast? Do we want it to be applicable to everyone, or what's
Is
going
it
on?
health wise? Is it
I mean, there's all the production stuff that goes along with it, and I don't have time for any of that.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
You're like, I just want to show up,
Yeah.
do one thing. I am talent.
You need a team.
yeah,
You need a team.
Yeah.
But like I was gonna ask, like, because I was thinking about this over the weekend, like there's a point where like you have to bring on someone else to basically like do all the searching for you. Like
right.
what point do you feel that you would have to go and then go that route?
Well, I think I'm ready for it now.
Yeah.
I know that last year during Pride, I missed out on some big opportunities with like DoorDash from another guy in New York City who's also does butt stuff and a lot of gay sex stuff. And he's got a sixth of the Instagram following I have, and he doesn't have much of a TikTok following, but he's got an agent.
Okay.
And he's in all the magazines and does all these things. And so it's kind of funny because Dan Savage and I are really close. And Dan had him on a show. And I'm like, you motherfucker, that's my competition. Why did you have him on your show? That should have been my show.
Yeah.
And Dan was like, holy shit, I didn't even realize that this was going to happen. It just got booked and I didn't realize it was happening. And so he had me on the next month to just kind of try to make up a little bit. But
So you're gonna get a manager or somebody?
I don't know. I don't even know where to start.
I can't help you.
I have no idea.
Google how to get a manager.
Well, to all of our listeners who are managers, talent managers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
Reach out.
Yeah.
Or know a talent manager, or
I don't know anybody.
You
If
know.
your cousin's a talent manager. I don't know.
exactly. Well, and that's another thing where, like, if you had like somebody who could do all that stuff for you, like an assistant, and then also do that like kind of footwork where it's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
there's so much. Can we?
Yeah, there's so much I want to do. I mean, there are 5 books I would love to write right now, but I don't have time to do that.
Yep.
Like, I work all day. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to work out a little bit and get fit. I go home and I eat dinner, and then it's like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's time to get up and do the same thing the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's times when you just want to like socialize with your friends on the weekend.
Exactly.
And go to the hole and
Exactly, which is what I did this past weekend, which was awesome.
Good.
So I try to take time for myself like that way, but I need to do better about self-care.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons why I kind of backed off of TikTok a little bit, because I needed to take some time for my mental health.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Just to.
It's a lot. If it's not just your one job,
Yeah,
it can be a lot because it's
Like
mentally draining trying to figure out
almost.
content.
yeah. I mean, I think the Mpox thing. I don't think anybody really understands the weight of the world that was on my shoulders during that time, because for a lot of people, I was their only method to talk to anybody, and there were so many people. I spent the entire summer last summer up all night on the phone, on Instagram, helping people find vaccinations or find medical care or connect them with mental health services, or
Just to talk to them.
just talk them through their isolation.
Was that last year?
That was last summer, yeah.
Oh my God.
So last summer we were up to 400 cases a day nationwide.
That's right, yeah.
And then it got down to maybe one case a week. And
Yeah.
then Chicago had a little outbreak about a couple of weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago maybe. And it got up to about 36 cases. And half the cases were double vaccinated.
Oh, no.
So people started freaking out because they're like, holy shit, I thought this was a silver bullet and I was safe as long as I got my 2 shots. And I told them, hey, listen, studies are showing that 86% protection from 2 shots. Studies suggest 39 to 75% protection from 1 shot, and then 0 from 0 shots.
Right.
So I actually picked up the phone and called some of the guys in Chicago that were on my Instagram that had been double vaxxed and got Mpox, and some of them privately told me that they were at sex parties where dozens of guys were fucking them.
Well,
and I'm like, well, at a point, you're gonna run against the numbers,
right? Well, not only that, but like
statistics,
people.
y'all.
Guess
statistics.
What? Even then, it's still vaccination does not mean you're not going to get it.
But nobody had required TPOXX, and nobody was hospitalized. Nobody died from that little
right.
outbreak.
Exactly.
But still,
and we're in Pride where everybody is traveling and
fucking
and fucking.
And I tell everybody right now that the wildfire was last summer. Right now, we have a few little embers here and there because there's little cases here and little cases there.
But give it enough wind.
It can become another wildfire. And there was actually a model for the summer in San Diego that there were going to be 27,000 new cases of Mpox.
Oh, hell no.
If people didn't get vaccinated. Because only 23% of people who are at risk have been fully vaccinated with 2 doses.
I got my 2 doses.
So,
I mean, sure. But then I also got my shingles one, and I got so wrecked.
Oh, shingles wrecked me too. Shingles was the worst. So I actually was supposed to lead a countywide Mpox update last night with all the people in public health in San Diego at the LGBT Center in San Diego. And all of us were standing there with our big presentation ready to go, and nobody showed up. Because nobody's taking it seriously now, because there hasn't been a case in San Diego in like 6 weeks. There's one case in the last 6 weeks.
Wow.
Well, what's your advice to folks that are going to participate in Pride? Because this Pride's going to be big.
Yeah. So number one, make sure you've had both shots. Mm-hmm. If you're going to play, and this is an STI mostly. Don't worry about going dancing. Okay. Yeah, don't worry about that. But the biggest thing, this is mostly sexually transmitted. Mm-hmm. If you are non-monogamously sexually active in the queer community or plan to be during Pride, make sure you've had both doses of the vaccine. Mm-hmm. That's going to give you your maximum force field of protection. So that's number one. Number two is when you go to play with somebody, hey, look at them. Look for the classic rash between the fingers, on the genitals or on the butt. Talk to your partner. Hey, are you healthy? Mm-hmm. As much as you can. In a lot of those situations, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But you see something, say something, people.
Yeah, and
girl, what's that rash?
Yeah,
look how orange that rash looks.
It's okay to it's okay to walk away. And I don't want to tell people to limit their sexual activity because I got a lot of grief last year from that because people in the queer community came after me for telling gay men to cool it for a little while until they got vaccinated. How dare you tell us not to have sex? So
Have you not learned? I'm sorry, there was an AIDS epidemic.
right.
There was a COVID
another big
pandemic.
thing. Hey, condoms work great.
Right.
Condoms are a great way to avoid a lot of things.
Or you could just jerk off together and
There's a lot. There's a
number of things.
But if you're going to a huge sex party, just realize the risk of that.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do that, absolutely fucking make sure you have both doses because
Right.
you're going to want to do everything you can to protect yourself.
And doxycycline's not going to like help you
Not for that.
with that.
Yeah, so DoxyPep is where you take 200 milligrams of doxycycline after a high-risk weekend, like the Eagle. And so like if you take it within 24 to 72 hours, preferably within 24 hours, and it decreases your syphilis and chlamydia risk by 70 to 73%.
Now, can't you just like, because when we went to Puerto Vallarta, a friend of ours decided to like pop a couple before right when they got there, and then every day.
Well, yeah, actually, there is something called Doxy Prep where you take 100 milligrams a day, and it wards off the same deal with
shit.
syphilis and.
But that's not going to help you with Mpox. So
it's not going to help you with
Or
Mpox.
herpes, y'all.
But exactly, there's other things you can get. But I mean, so. Take your PrEP and prevent HIV.
Yeah.
Take your DoxyPep to prevent chlamydia and syphilis, and get your Mpox shots and your hepatitis A and B shots.
Yeah.
Your meningitis shot, I think, is important. All those sorts of things are really important to kind of keep people healthy. And that's what's great about my time in Washington D.C. was. That's what they want to do too.
Yeah.
You know, they want us to start using that platform to get the message out and try to help the queer community through queer health. So it's been a great ride, and it seems like every time I come on this show, something bigger happens. For the
You're
next
welcome.
one. Yeah, no, this has been my springboard.
Well, I was
So
going to say,
thank you,
I was
guys.
like, what's the diving board thing? Thank you.
We are the wind beneath his wings.
Oh my God, thanks, Bet.
Brought that full circle.
Okay, so because we've seen a lot of drag queens lately, because we went to DragCon. And
Oh, I was
saw a lot
like,
of them.
we have?
And we saw Coco Montrese too. And like you just seen a couple, so you have been watching
All Stars.
All Stars 8, and how are you enjoying it? And we're gonna circle back to the Candy Muse thing about it being
they're starting to play the game now.
Yeah.
Before they were just eliminating people who had the worst track record, and now they're eliminating competition.
Well, yeah. Finally, it's like you feel like people are starting to feel like, okay, we're at that point where it's very like Naomi Smalls versus Manila kind of thing.
Right,
It's like,
right.
We're just going to
Life's
get rid of
not
people
fair.
Right. So I'm loving. I never really liked Jimbo before, but I love him now. Jimbo is amazing. He's
He's
so
done really well
talented.
this season.
I
He really
agree. I
shined.
wanted to hate him because I'm like, you're not. What are you doing here?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
he is so like he's
But I think
so
in this
out there.
season, it's not as esoteric
Right.
as like it was on UK versus the world,
Yeah.
or Canada versus the world, where it was like he came out in this white outfit, looked like he was pregnant, throwing baloney.
Yeah.
like we haven't really
Right.
gotten that, so
Yeah.
it's like
It wasn't so
okay,
obscure. Yeah,
A little more refined, I think.
Yeah, but it's really hysterical. Jessica Wilde is a friend of mine, so I like her.
Oh.
excuse me, if she's a friend, can you put us in touch with her so we can get her on the show?
Absolutely, I'd be able to do that. So Jessica is crazy and funny,
And she's so funny, and I don't think she
and
even knows
so
it.
super nice, and
And I love their friendship. Her
Yeah.
and Jimbo, they have this like weird friendship now, and I'm just like, that is so cool.
I was disappointed Heidi in Closet just left.
She
I mean,
adored, yeah.
How do you go on a show like that and just leave your
I just
your
feel like
opportunity?
she saw her brand going down because she was not
winning
her best.
Yeah,
Right.
And, it's sometimes better to bail than to make
Yeah.
it worse.
Did
Yeah.
we tell you about the DragCon thing with her? She was there in boy drag.
Not even boy drag, just as a boy.
Yeah, it was like,
that's disappointing.
oh, you want me to pay $50 to do a meet and greet, but you're not in drag at Drag Con?
Yeah,
I mean, we were dressed in more drag than she was, and we were in t-shirts.
right.
That should just tell you.
Yeah, so Candy Muse, just not that talented. I mean,
I don't like her
looks-
either.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
Talking marbles in my mouth
just
like that.
I mean, she's sometimes funny and sometimes
Purely
good
for
and-
TV, I think.
But I don't know. I don't know. She doesn't strike me right.
Right, and it's like
I
her
agree.
looks like have been the same exact
Yeah.
thing every single week.
And like I didn't. I'm 2 weeks behind, but I watch Bussy Queen's recap episodes and all the like YouTube recaps of that, and like the fact with like Candy Muse, it's like she made a big old stink about the acting challenge and then didn't make a character. She was just Candy Muse.
Yeah.
I loved and I love Lala Ree on this. Like I am living
been
for the
good.
Lala Ree.
Oh, I
experience.
love Lala Ree. Her confessionals and also her little like
Yeah.
like whatever shirt, but it's also like a glove thing. I need it.
She's really funny. She's really good too.
I
yeah.
need that outfit.
So how was the audience reception to her at the Queerty thing?
Oh,
After
people were fine, you know.
Okay.
And then the next week when you look and see that everybody else voted for
James
as
Manfield,
well, I didn't
yeah.
feel so bad about it. I guess
Yeah.
they probably had a little powwow all together and decided.
Yeah.
To get rid
What
of
about
it.
Alexis? What are your thoughts on Alexis?
I think that she's really talented, but at the same time, I was really happy that Rue called her out this past week for crying all the time.
All the time.
Oh.
Like
Over everything.
everything. Oh,
I'm like, girl, get it together.
hello. Like, have you seen the memes where it's like Jessica Wilde every time Alexis is crying? It's hilarious.
it's like Latrice said, it's 5 G's. Get a grip. Good God, girl, get a grip. So, all right. So you have the Hero of Pride. We're gonna get tickets to your diversionary thing, but this probably will come out after that.
Okay.
But and then
Yeah, I'll go. It's a
people
Saturday
can
as
go
well.
out. And if you're in Orlando, because we have a big following in Orlando,
Pineapple Healthcare.
make sure to keep an eye out for Butthole Brunch.
That's right. And then
when is that?
Butts Up Brunch in
Butts
In
Up
August? August 5th?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I can't.
And then September in Dallas.
Yes.
September 22nd through the 24th. And that'll be really cool because there's going to be a lot of
There's gonna be a
interesting-
lot of people.
I would go to that just to see how, like, Anthony is
Yeah.
outside of Queer Eye.
Yeah.
Have you watched his other show?
No. Why would I
Ew.
do that?
My friend was actually on that cooking show.
You what?
Yeah, my friend Michael Munoz was on that cooking show. He was on like the second episode. And the cookout cooking
The gay
battle,
one?
the super gay one with the painted
That's your
nails. That's my
friend?
friend Michael. Yeah, he does the kitchen gaily.
Oh, okay.
podcast, yeah.
That's so fun because
No, it's called In Your Mouth podcast.
Oh, okay.
Oh, in your mouth.
Yeah,
I like
it's really good
that.
because he does food stuff. And
Yeah.
he's really really funny and super.
he did pretty good on that one.
He did.
I'm
great.
trying to remember. Did he?
And he's
he
really
didn't win.
funny. He was really funny on there.
Yeah.
I don't.
Like, girl, you just built your brand. Good for you.
It's like the Easy Bake cook off, and it's like they have
It's
to
like,
make.
we're going to make
advertisers.
avocado
No,
toast.
it's because it's based on the Easy Bake Oven.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it
yes.
is. Yeah.
Oh, no! You know what? I've seen the like the thumbnail preview picture on YouTube, or not YouTube, on Netflix, and I scroll right past it
Oh, jeez.
in opposition.
All right, so Dr. Carlton, let everybody know how to find you on the socials.
I'm at DOCTORCARLTON on Instagram and TikTok. But the Instagram is really the meat of where I put a lot of my content lately. I have a Twitter as well that I separate with an underscore between Dr. and Carlton. And I put a little bit more of the stuff that you can get away with on Twitter on there, as far as
Porn.
being able to talk about like fisting and stuff
Except
like that.
for the cisgender. You can't say that anymore.
You can't say cisgender anymore now.
What?
Yeah, Elon said
It's a slur. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
You can't say cis or cisgender anymore
Yeah.
on Twitter because they consider
Oh,
it a
you
slur.
post-
But if you say it to a gay person and call them a sissy, that's okay.
Yes.
Right.
Wait, so you can't say cisgender on Twitter?
No.
He just banned it basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he won't ban saying the N word or anything
Yeah.
else. But
oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
But if you say cisgender,
Oh Lord.
yeah.
all right. So, do you have any quick fire questions for Dr. Carlton?
Oh no, I didn't realize because he's not really a guest.
I know, but I love doing these.
You can do
Okay.
some.
All right, I have.
You got them all.
Okay.
Is it pride related?
Huh?
Is it all pride related? Or you can just do quick fires. It's fine.
I didn't even think about pride related.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't. Oh, okay. What pizza topping would you be for your pride pizza?
He pivoted.
So you're just gonna throw the word pride into each of the questions?
I'd say beef.
Oh yeah.
I like to bring the meat.
Okay.
I was going to say pineapple because I like to bring the fruit, but
What about you, Joe?
Sausage.
Damn.
Because I can
Big
be crumbled
Italian
in your
sausage?
mouth and I'm juicy.
Andy, what about you? No, you abstain.
No pizza toppings for Andy.
Oh,
I'm
because
on
he's
a fast.
fasting.
What would yours be?
I think I would be pineapple because I would get semen taste better.
There you go.
There you go.
And you're fruity. And you look great as a ring.
Or chunky and funky. All right. For Pride, which RuPaul song would you want to do a verse on?
for Pride, but RuPaul song.
I can't. I'm fine. I'm good.
Boy, I'd probably say Supermodel.
But would you sing or would you rap or would you do
I would sing because I'm
like a Vincent Price kind of thing?
I
Darkness falls across the land.
Exactly. What about you, Joe?
I really like Catwalk,
Okay.
but like, I also really like. Oh fuck, what's it called? I don't remember the song, but like, it was on his old album.
Okay.
I'll think about it. But I would say I would do a verse of Catwalk because it's like kind of slow, and you could be like rap a little bit, but also maybe sing a little bit, and I would do like both.
Okay. I would do Call Me Mother because I want to do a quick rap like Twista.
Okay. Guess who's back in the house? Who's
Exactly.
clacking about 5 minutes out to 11.
I like also the one where Alaska and Katya.
Reggie Wrote You?
Reggie Wrote You. I would do that one. Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, out of all of the songs,
my
out of
favorite.
all the cast, that is my favorite, and my favorite verse is by Katya.
Yeah.
Just because I love the line that says,
Katya.
but your dad calls me Katya.
That is really. I love that too. It's my favorite. Yeah.
All right, and then who was your most memorable concert experience for Pride? No, it doesn't have to be Pride related.
Not ready to stop. But it will be.
For my concert experience. Well, I did go to a Pride concert with Ava Max. That was pretty cool.
Oh.
And I was right in front row. And
Did you hear what happened to her? Somebody threw a phone at her concert and like hit her in the face, and she had to get stitches.
Was
my
that Ava
God.
Max?
Ava
Yeah.
Max, yeah.
That was Ava Max.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know it was her. Oh, no.
Yeah. And then, oh wait, no. I'm sorry. You're right. It was BB Rexa who got hit in the face.
Oh,
It was
But-
too many exes, girl.
But somebody walked up on stage for Ava Max and smacked her in the face.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. We're security.
Exactly. Oh, God. Okay, so Ava Max.
Yeah. But if all the big stars coming around for concerts these days, because there's Madonna coming, there's Beyonce, there's Taylor, all these huge, Pink is around, all these huge names are coming. I think out of all of them, I want to go see Kylie Minogue if she does a show here.
I would love to
that.
see her. Like I was right before COVID for Pride in Palm Springs.
She
I
was
was
the white
working.
party.
Yeah, I was working at the Sheraton over here in Mission Valley, and they were like, "Hey, the Sheraton in Palm Springs needs help during Pride. Would you want to go there?" And I was like, I don't want to drive all the way out to Palm Springs for Pride and like have to work while everybody else is partying, and then they get to see Kylie Minogue, and I got to be at work. Like, no.
So I'm guessing you didn't do it.
I didn't do it. But I was like, that was the closest I've gotten to Kylie Minogue. And I'm like,
so
I want to
awesome.
see her so
Well,
bad.
that
She's
for
like
now.
this big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is
and she's in her
tiny.
50s. Good for her.
Good for her.
I thought she was older than her 50s.
Yeah, she's in her 50s.
She's a locomotion. Like that was like back in the day.
Yeah.
So, okay, Joe, what's your most memorable concert experience?
I haven't seen a lot of concerts. I think it would probably be Adele, which is kind of like whatever. But just because like she doesn't do a lot of singing in her concerts, it's a lot of like storytelling, which is kind of like I was okay with it because it's like you get to hear like the reasons behind the songs and stuff like that. So I think Adele would be mine.
Yeah, so you said Pride. So that's why I did the World Pride Ava Max thing. But
I was just saying for Pride.
But there's two other things that are really, really cool for me. One was, as silly as it sounds, because she lip synced the whole thing. I was in the front row for Britney in Vegas. And
Yes.
lost my shit. I was like, because I am such a huge Britney stan.
Yeah.
So not as much anymore because I think she's fallen off the deep end. But I digress. And then the other one that was really, really amazing was I got to go to a private concert with only 200 people in a tiny little auditorium with Aretha Franklin singing all of her hits. And I'm just sitting here like, oh my God, she just sang Natural Woman, and there's only like 150, 200 people in this room. This is fucking amazing.
And it's so weird that you said that, because the most memorable one is actually Aretha Franklin at the House of Blues in Orlando. Because when I worked there, I helped with doing Pride for the first year for House of Blues. And as part of my payment, I said I want tickets to whatever concert I want coming up. No questions asked. I get VIP, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, get it, girl.
And so I
Make those demands.
I helped them book RuPaul. I helped them book Junior Vasquez, all that kind of stuff.
wow.
It went off. So for my concert that I chose Aretha Franklin to take my mom to go see her.
Aww.
And it was memorable because whenever Aretha is out on stage, no air conditioning.
Right.
It's hot as fuck in the middle of July in Orlando.
Oh, that's going to be awful.
Why no air conditioning?
Because it affects her voice. So she did a full 2 hours and there was an intermission. And so during the intermission, they could turn the air back on for a little bit. So you kind of got a little bit of air, but then when she came back out, they had to turn it off again.
Were you 20 pounds lighter because of all the sweat?
Oh my God. I was like, if I had known this, I would have picked a different one. But still, it's again, it was there's only 200 or 300 people allowed in the House of Blues.
Wow.
We are on the upstairs, what they call the loge, so it was like a balcony kind of thing.
Yeah,
we were right
yeah.
on the edge, so we got a perfect view of her on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to hear her voice just come at you.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's...
Yeah. I saw her in Minnesota, so I didn't have to worry about the air conditioning.
It was a cold winter. Oh my God.
Well, thank you again for being such a great friend of the show, Dr. Carlton. We love you.
Absolutely. I love you guys too, and thank you for all that you've done for me, and I look forward to future adventures together.
Yeah,
Please.
I mean, you're gonna, after this platforming to the next level of your stardom.
We'll see what that is.
I'm curious what that looks like, yeah.
And
We will continue to be the ashes from which the phoenix rises.
Right. And the springing diving board or whatever. We are the propulsion to your jet rocket.
All right, that sounds good.
But thank you for everything that you do for the queer community.
Yes.
We really appreciate it
Appreciate
and
that.
everything. So, all right, everyone, have a great Pride.
Happy Pride.
Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at TUGaysPod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.